Welcome back to The Price of Business. I am your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. And here is our latest Price Point edition. I'm Kevin Price with your Price Point edition. Do want to remind you can find me over at The Price of Business on Business Talk 1110 AM, KTEK in Houston, Texas, and of course with USDailyReview.com. I want to talk a little bit about John Boehner, who I'm calling these days the messenger of the House, a clear demotion from Speaker of the House. And why do I say that? Well, let's just face it, John Boehner has always been, from the very beginning, even when he was majority leader actually minority leader, rather, back when Pelosi was in charge, a rather weak speaker. The thing he's always been afraid of was being an obstructionist. He did not want to be an obstructionist, and therefore he was always seen as having weak to no backbone by many. Now, because of the fact that he is largely carrying the president's water, his fiscal cliff compromise looked a lot more like what Barack Obama wanted rather than what the American people wanted, and certainly what the economy wanted. He proved he doesn't believe in the idea of supply-side economics, because if he did, he would say, let's just go over the fiscal cliff entirely and tax everyone a little bit evenly, because let's face it, if everyone faces this tax or deals with this tax, they'll become more enlightened voters. And he could have made the president responsible for that. But instead, he took the most cowardly route, which has become his modus operandi. Now, how did John Boehner become Speaker of the House? Well, back in 2010, when Nancy Pelosi was Speaker of the House, there was an election that in November in which 60 new Republicans were elected. And guess what? Almost every one of those new Republicans, they replaced Democrats. Virtually every one of them were Tea Party Republicans, meaning they were against bailouts, they were against massive government regulations, they were against increases in taxation on any income group, especially the job creators who are the upper income groups. John Boehner was allowed to be Speaker because of the good fortunes of a group that really largely disagreed with him. Now, if the Republican Party had integrity back in January of 2011, they would have chosen Mike Pence as Speaker of the House, now the governor of the great state of Indiana. He was the one with the Tea Party credentials. Now, I have to admit, he distanced himself. I don't know if he was afraid of Boehner or if he already had larger ambitions. The rumor is that he was going to run for President of the United States, but quickly decided that wasn't going to be practical. But regardless of the case, someone other than Boehner should have been chosen as Speaker, because he doesn't reflect the values of the House. In the most recent election cycle for him getting a speakership, Congressman Steve Stockman, a personal friend of mine, voted against Boehner, and as a result lost his key committee position on the Banking and Finance Committee, and was moved to the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Don't get me wrong, that's a fine committee, but people like to be in an influential committee to change the economy, to change the economic outlook, which he was in a position to do. So it's very, very disconcerting to see what he's doing. So since he can't lead, he being Boehner, by inspiration, he's now leading by intimidation, by removing people, many people from key committee assignments simply because they are toting their constituents' line rather than his line, which is only an echo of the Barack Obama position. The truth of the matter is that the Republican Party is going to regain its vitality. It's going to have to change its leadership, and it's going to have to start at the top. The leading Republican in the entire country today is John Boehner, who is only a messenger of the House to the president of what the GOP rank and file wants, and a water boy for the president to House Republicans on what the president wants to see happen. We need true leadership, and it begins by ending the fake leadership of John Boehner. I'm Kevin Price.
This is Andy Valadez, marketing strategist for Marketing Dynamics, Chief Marketing Officer of EBC Broadcast, the Entrepreneur Broadcasting Company. Thank you for listening to the Price Point Edition with award-winning media personality Kevin Price. We hope you enjoy this format and leading-edge editorial where business and politics do mix. Our media platform represents a dynamic convergence and integration of media where we not only feature leading insight on the radio, but also the video at usdailyreview.com, priceofbusiness.com, ebcbroadcast.com, youtube.com, and via our video syndication technology partners, and via weekly press releases, blogs, social media, and RSS feeds. If you would be interested in positioning your company with active conservative audiences and thought leadership communities to engage in what America's talking about at the virtual water cooler, then contact us, 713-560-3348. That's 713-560-3348. Or at andy@ebcbroadcast.com. Rarely will one find a more cutting-edge media platform like this, and we're excited to bring you the best of politics, news, technology, commentary, and business via the Price Point Edition with Kevin Price. This programming was brought to you by ParcelandPostPlus.com, AIStudioOnline.com, and TeamMarketingDynamics.com.